So managed to get the rear engine mount done. Excuse the welds because I've no gas in the welder, so I was just tacking it up, but that's in there, just a small spacer, and once the engine and subframe are out, I'll weld it properly and strengthen it. Mount there, gearbox mount, and under here I've just made a stabiliser bar. Again, excuse the welds, no gas in the welder, so I'm a bit horrible. What I did was used the original stabiliser for the Mini, cut it up, that's that part there. Had an old ratchet, just cut the handle off it and just welded to a bit of plate there, so just gives it a bit of added strength, and it's much better. I just didn't really trust it with the 3 mounts, so I may even squeeze another stabiliser bar in for the engine if I can, just to be on the safe side. Not too bothered about keeping the weight down or anything like that, so I'm just trying to make it strong enough to cope. Someone did ask a question about the tie rod ends, front tie rods that are just there, asking if they interfere with the sump. They do not. On this subframe, the tie rods have been moved over, so it should really sit around here, but they've been moved over, still keeping the stock Mini suspension geometry. But as you can see, it does clear. There's no issues there. I have seen on some subframes that people have had to cut a notch in the corner here, and it's just basically cutting this corner off and then welding in like a flat piece up here and then up there as well, and that's enough to clear where the stock tie rod comes up. I think it's a tie rod. Is that called a tie rod? We'll call it a tie rod. Also, I think I have seen ones that have got like a bend in them. Again, not sure if that's just for the all-speed subframes or if they could be used on another subframe. However, the subframe I'm running with don't have that issue, so all good there. Also, when I was making the mounts up for the engine, I moved it over as far as possible to the left side that I could, just to give me the added clearance, because everything is pretty tight. Today I'm going to try and see about getting an alternator fitting round about there somewhere. I did have an alternator bracket made up for the older subframe, but it's not quite right for this subframe. The engine just sits slightly off, so I'm going to try and look out my alternator. Hopefully I can find it. It's the one I took off of the CRX that I had because it was smaller, so I'm just going to try and find that right now. So here is the said alternator. When I was starting out with this project, I was just browsing some forums and things like that, trying to figure out if there was a smaller alternator that I could use, and I couldn't really find an answer. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough, tightening the right things, but when I had the CRX, Mark II CRX, the alternator belt snapped on it, and I had the alternator belt from this engine. When I was changing it over, I realised that this alternator was a lot smaller than the one that I was trying to fit into this engine bay. So if anybody's looking for a small alternator, plus it's the same plugs, engine harness plugs straight in, and same pulley. So if anybody's looking for a small alternator for a conversion, then the CRX Mark II, what reg would that have been, a 1990, I think it was, 1991 maybe. If I could find the old alternator, I'll get a comparison, the two side by side, just to see how much smaller it is. But for the gap that I've got up here, should be able to fit it in, just like that. Hopefully it works. But anyway, I'm going to try and come up with a way to make a bracket for that, and I'll check back in a bit. So I've finally got the 3 mounts welded. Still to dress the welds up a bit, but this is the top alternator mount, this is the bottom alternator mount, and just a quick engine bracket there that goes under, attaches to the block there and attaches to the front of the subframe. Not the best, but it'll definitely do. Still to clean the welds up, and I'll obviously get these powder coated and smooth it off a bit nicer, but I'm just going to trial fit. Try this one first. This one goes at the back of the engine, just here. Actually, it goes this way, and the other bit attaches onto the engine mount. So I'm just going to take this bolt out and see if that fits. So that's the bracket in place now, and it's a bit tight. Just when I've welded the lugs, it's just pulled in slightly, just with the heat. Well, just with the weld, it's actually pulled it in. So I'll just, still fits, but I'll just shave a tiny wee bit off with the file. But I'm just going to try the alternator on now and see how that works. So that is the alternator mounted up. Still need to make a small spacer for in here for the adjuster, and I'm not getting too much of an adjustment on it yet, so I'm just going to elongate this part here, the slot, and then that will give me enough adjustment. So it's still to tighten this up here. It's all still slack, but fits in, which I'm extremely happy about, and it clears the inlet manifold and the fuel rail. It comes extremely close, but it does clear it, so that's the main thing. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've not fitted the, where is it? I'm not going to fit this on tonight. I'm happy getting the alternator on, fixed in place, because that was causing me a bit of grief, and I just wasn't thinking about it properly, thinking the correct way to mount it. So it's extremely sturdy brackets, so which is brilliant. All I had to do was shave a small bit off of underneath of here just to bring it in line, but I don't think it looks too bad, and I'm going to finish up the video like that. Hopefully the weekend I'll get the last panel cut for the bulkhead box, and I was going to take the engine out and weld the subframe up, the mounts that I've made, and just see the mount down there and amongst all the dirt and grease and grime and crap. But I think I'm gonna get the gear linkage set up before I remove the engine, because it's only really the gear linkage that I need to work out now. The rest's pretty easy. The radiator I know fits, and the drive shafts aren't really a problem. The main thing is alternator, in fact manifold. I need to make a manifold as well, so I'm in two minds whether to order a cheap stainless steel manifold and just modify that, or order the elbows and the flange. You can get a flange off of eBay and just make my own up. I've not got too much clearance there to get an exhaust through, but I'll definitely make it work. But yeah, that's me. I'm going to finish up this video and hopefully start getting a lot more work done to this car, because I've took the Civic is now off the road, it's all covered up, and the MX-5 won't be getting touched either. Main car is the 350Z that I'm just using for work. The bike is parked up as well, that probably won't get used anymore till after the winter, so I'm hoping that next few months I can really get a lot done to this. And yep, next video will probably be the gear linkage and well, see how I get on with the gear linkage. Alright, soon.